All right, folks, it's game week. We finally made it.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome in, everybody, to a Labor Day edition, a Monday edition of Locked On Lions, everybody in the Locked On Podcast Network. Matt Derry with you on a first day of September, 9/1/25 on a Monday edition in a Tuesday, September 2nd. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for making us your first listen, everybody, and checking us out wherever you get your podcasts. And that, of course, includes on our Locked On Lions YouTube channel. If you're not a subscriber to the YouTube channel, now September 1st, let's do it. Let's get over 16,000 subscribers. We are close to that number. We appreciate all of you checking us out daily right here on Locked On Lions. If you are a daily listener, we thank you. We like to call those listeners our everydayers. Thanks for checking us out Monday through Friday. This week, we got 6 shows for you, Monday through Friday. And then, of course, Sunday, we will be on after the game as well with a post-game edition. There will be a post-cast with the Lions squad show with Jake Riepma and Natalie Kerwin, and, of course, Bradford Banta. But I will have a separate show as well after Sunday's season opener in Green Bay against the Packers. Locked On Lions today brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. We got a busy week ahead. Trey Wingo has a new podcast out, the former host of NFL Live on ESPN. We've had Trey on the show many times, loves the NFL, so good with football. He's going to join us tomorrow on the show. Thursday, yes, we'll get you ready for Lions at the Pack. Micah Parsons, ooh, oh boy, the Lions have no chance. They might as well not even get off the bus in Ashwaubenon, Wisconsin. Lions and Packers Sunday. We will preview it on the Thursday crossover. Yes, the crossovers are back. That means the most hated man in Detroit sports, the host of Locked On Packers, Peter Bukowski, will be on these very airwaves Thursday for the crossover. Man, we're getting right into it with Pete, aren't we? And if you missed it, the Locked On NFC North preview is out there wherever you get your podcasts, on our channel as well. Peter Bukowski, Lauren Cox, Locked On Bears, and of course, Luke Braun, Locked On Vikings, and myself did a around the division preview. We recorded that the other day, hours before Micah Parsons landed in Green Bay. He's wearing number 1, by the way, and went through his first practice today with the Packers. All right, we got to talk about week 1, and we're finally hearing some things that I'm thinking about. Also, every summer, I normally do the 5 players that I think could be first-time Pro Bowlers for the Lions. I have sliced the list down to 3, and I'm going to do all of that. I'm going to do that entire list today. All right, we've been a little bit lax with that. That is on me. Kind of forgot to do it because we've had so much to talk about, but we'll get to that coming up momentarily here on the show. The Lions have so many Pro Bowl players and so many guys on their roster that have made the Pro Bowl as Lions. I'm going to give you 3 Pro Bowlers that could make their Lions debut as Pro Bowl players this season if they perform the way I think. The number 3 quarterback has been brought up. 2 Brad Holmes, 2 Dan Campbell. The Lions say they are searching for one. They would like to have a 3rd quarterback, at least on the practice squad. We will get into that discussion a little bit later on. And also, I've watched this interview twice now. Jameson Williams on Channel 7 with Brad Galley. If you've not watched it, I have some highlights for you, and I just have a reaction to it. We will do that today coming up as well, right here on Locked On Lions. Beautiful sunny Monday for Labor Day. Hope everybody had a great day off. And we're getting ready for the Lions and Packers Sunday. Again, that's a CBS game, 4:25. So you got the number 1 crew for that game, Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, who doesn't shut up, and Tracy Wolfson, of course, the former Michigan Wolverine, the Michigan alum, who will be doing that game. She does a great job on the sidelines on Sunday. But by the way, speaking of broadcasts, look, there's no arguing here. The Detroit Tigers have upgraded their broadcast when they relieved Matt Shepard of his duties and hired Jason Benetti. Okay? You can't argue they haven't upgraded. Whether you like it or don't like it or think Benetti and Dirks are a clown show at times, whatever. I read an article, a column in the Detroit Free Press by Jeff Seidel. And Jeff blocked me many years ago on Twitter. I read this column the other day. It was the biggest fluff piece suck job I've ever read. And I've read some in these newspapers over my 25 plus years in this town. My God, this thing should have been on DetroitTigers.com. It was just a complete lather job and just wow. I literally had to take a shower after reading that thing. Journalism in this town. I remember the good old days, man, when the columnists hit hard and there were occasionally some good opinion pieces. This was bad and low. I wanted to just bring that up on the show. This is my platform. This is when I get to talk, and that's what I brought that up. Now let's talk football. Lions are opening this season on Sunday, and I can't wait. I mean, I am so excited, and I know you, the fans, are so excited for this season. And first and foremost, we've waited a while. It's been a rough off season with everything that went down and losing to the Washington Commanders in the playoffs, losing both coordinators, Frank Ragnow retiring. There are a lot of questions surrounding this football team. But I want to say what I've been saying for weeks. This is still a really good team. I don't understand a lot of the national hate that's out there that the window's closed or the door's closed or that the Lions aren't going to do well. And look, you want to pick Green Bay to win the division? Go for it. That's a good team. This division is very good. All four teams are good. This is a really tough division. Minnesota won 14 games last year and might have upgraded a quarterback. The Bears have hired a much better head coach this year. And you got to figure some of their young players will get better. Do I question who's going to be at left tackle in Chicago and everything? Sure, I do. But people seem to forget about the amount of talent on this Detroit Lions team and how good this team is going to be. And I know the schedule is difficult. And I know already there are people saying, man, have you seen that the Vegas line move? The Packers were like a 1.5 favorite. Now some places on FanDuel, 2.5, 3-point favorites. And oh no, Micah Parsons is going to Green Bay. I just want people to remember, this is a team that has won for 3 years. They've had a winning record for 3 years. They know how to win. They've won the division 2 years in a row. They still have their quarterback. They still have their running backs. They still got a very good wide receiver core. And have just added another receiver that they think is going to be spectacular. They have an all-pro tight end. All right. They've got the best right tackle in the game. I think they have an underrated left guard. Defensively, they have the guy that would have won the Defensive Player of the Year award had he not gotten hurt last year. The linebacking core is excellent. The defensive backfield is probably the best it's been. Really like this secondary. You got 2 of the top 6 safeties in the league. Your kicker's good. Your punter's a Pro Bowler. Your head coach is excellent. So I'm excited. I think this team's going to be really good. Do I think they're going to win 15 games again? I do not. I do not. I think the schedule is too difficult. It is going to be very, very tough. Of course, I had the schedule here, and now I can't find it. It is going to be very, very tough to win 15 games again. This schedule is murder. All right? I think they're probably going 2-2 in September. They could lose at Green Bay. They could lose in Baltimore. I mean, these are tough. The first handful of road games, Green Bay, Baltimore, Cincy, Kansas City, Washington, Philly. That's tough. It is. But there's a lot of talent here. There's good depth on this team. They have the best quarterback in the division. You want to argue with me? You can. Am I concerned about the interior of the offensive line? I am. Am I concerned about replacing Ragnow with Glasgow? Sure. But I'm also really excited about some of the additions that they've made. And I think Davenport's going to be healthy, and I think he's going to perform. And getting Hutchinson back, this team won a lot of football games last year without him. Now he's back. So, yes, it's going to be tough. Yes, schedule's brutal. But people that are sleeping on them, I really still like this team. I think if they win 11 games and still win the division, or win 11 games and maybe get a wild card, I think they can still maybe go further than they did last year due to what they have in place right now. A lot of luck has to be involved, health, all that stuff. But I really like this team. I do. I think the NFC's got some good squads. Sure, Tampa Bay's tough. The Rams are going to be good. Some people are on the Niners bandwagon. We know about Philly and Washington, and certainly the division is good. But I'm excited for this season, and I think the Lions absolutely can go into Green Bay and win. They've won there the last 3 years. It's a team a little bit different, but I'm excited for the season. I think there's talent here, a lot of talent here. That's how you win. You gotta have material. You gotta have players. All right, coming up next, 3 players that I think could be first-time Pro Bowlers with the Lions. We will do that next year on a Monday, in a Labor Day edition of Locked on Lions. All right, everybody, as we told you earlier, Locked on Lions is brought to you by the Gametime app. NFL season is back, and honestly, there's nothing better than being in the stadium surrounded by fans cheering on your team. But let's be honest, getting tickets can be tough. It can be a hassle. Between queues and login screens and prices jumping at checkout, it is frustrating. That's why I use the Gametime app, the app that gives you the advantage and gives it back to the fans. Gametime is fast, easy, and backed by the Gametime guarantee, meaning you'll always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best price. Plus, all fees are included. So the price you see is the price you pay. All right? Gametime app is simple. You're looking for tickets for Lions, Bears. I know a ton of people want to go to the home opener. It's been tough to get the tickets. You can get them on Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDON NFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Gametime today. And Locked on Lions today is also brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. That is right. Oh my goodness, NFL season is back. It's here. FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. All right? Folks love FanDuel. Why? Because it fits however you like to bet, whether you're into player props, building a same-game parlay, or even jumping into live action as the action unfolds. You can do that with FanDuel. Bill Belichick, college debut tonight at North Carolina. We'll put some shekels down on the game. You can do so at FanDuel. It's quick and easy and the best way to add a little more energy to Sundays. Are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. All right, what's up, everybody? It is a Labor Day Monday. Matt Derry with you. Locked on Lions, Locked on Podcast Network. Trey Wingo tomorrow. Peter Bukowski on Thursday for Lions and Packers as we will preview the season opener. Cannot be more excited for the season to be here and looking forward to it. All right, so we've done this exercise in the past. I got 3 players. 3 players that I believe could be first-time Pro Bowlers as Lions on this current roster. Now, the players that have already been to the Pro Bowl, as we know, Jared Goff, Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jack Fox, Taylor Decker, Brian Branch, Sam Laporta made it 2 years ago, have all been to the Pro Bowl. Heck, even in 2021, former Lion Jonah Jackson made it. I don't even remember that. But regardless, these are all players that have been to the Pro Bowl. Now, who could be first-time Pro Bowlers with the Lions? First one is obvious, but we'll go from 3 to 1. 1 being the guy that I think is definitely going to make it this year, and then we got 2 and 3. But number 3 is going to be DJ Reed for me. I think this is a guy that is just scratching the surface as a cornerback. There's a reason why the Lions really targeted him in free agency, and they believe they've got an upgrade at the number 1 corner spot opposite of Terrion Arnold. Reed had a very good career with the Jets, signed a pretty big contract with the team, and I think is ready to kind of take that mantle, replacing Carlton Davis as the team's top corner. It's going to be difficult. There's a lot of good corners in the NFC. I get that, but I think a guy like DJ Reed can have a big year and can make it as a Pro Bowl player. He is number 3. Number 2 on my list is Jack Campbell, the middle linebacker. Again, you look at Fred Warner, you look at Zach Bond, you look at the really good linebackers in the NFC. Tough to make the Pro Bowl team, but is this the year that Jack Campbell takes a huge step forward and becomes a middle linebacker star with this team. Remember, Lions have Alex Anzalone, yet they're handing the green dot over to Jack Campbell. Dan Campbell said it. This is his defense now, entering year 3. He's a playmaker. He can run sideline to sideline. He's good on the ball. He's good off the ball. And I think Jack Campbell has an opportunity to really, really take a leap forward this year. There's a reason why the Lions spent a first-round pick on this kid out of Iowa years ago. I really like his game. And you look at his defense, and this is one of the things that when some of the naysayers bring up that the Lions aren't going to be as good this year. Remember, we played you that Jason McIntyre clip last week, which was absurd, from the Colin Cowherd show. And he's like, who are these players on the Lions defense? I'm naming you 3 guys on this defense that have never been to the Pro Bowl that I think have a chance to make it this year. I just mentioned DJ Reed, really good corner. I'm mentioning Jack Campbell, really good linebacker. And my number 1 guy that I think is definitely going to make it, and I think should have made it last year, is Kirby Joseph. Kirby Joseph did not make the Pro Bowl last year, despite being tied for the league lead in interceptions a year ago. He was an all-pro player from the Associated Press, named as one of the top 2 safeties in the league, yet did not make the Pro Bowl and wasn't even a high enough alternate to get to Orlando last year. What do you have to say about Kirby? What is there more to say about Kirby Joseph? Ball hawk, center fielder, leader of that secondary, and he and Brian Branch together are just really, really good. And what is so cool about Sunday is we're going to Green Bay this week, where Kirby Joseph over the last handful of years has been phenomenal at Lambeau Field. Deep ball interception on Aaron Rodgers that ended Rodgers' career in Green Bay in 2022. And then last year in 2024, the pick 6 on Jordan Love. Kirby Joseph he's a very, very good player. There's a reason why the Lions locked him up long-term. He's the highest paid safety in the league. And it was a crying shame last year that he didn't make the Pro Bowl. All right. Again, a lot of competition, a lot of good players, a lot of good safeties in this league. All over the board. All right. Antoine Winfield, very popular player. But I'm telling you, Kirby Joseph is excellent. So the 3 guys that I think have a chance to make a Pro Bowl this year for the first time as Lions, DJ Reed, Jack Campbell, Kirby Joseph. All 3 are from defense. All 3 are on defense. And there's other guys on the offensive side that I think could be there. David Montgomery's never been to the Pro Bowl. Do you know Jameson Williams? What if Jamo blows up? And we're going to talk about him. A lot of good candidates for that, but those are the 3 that I chose. All right. It was over the weekend, I believe, the Lions put out a video from Danny Rogers, their team reporter. Danny does a great job. She was interviewing Brad Holmes one-on-one and asked him about the backup quarterback situation, losing Hendon Hooker to Carolina. They release him, of course, waive him, and he gets picked up by the Panthers for their practice squad. And Danny flat out asked Brad Holmes, are you bringing another quarterback in? And Brad Holmes says, we're looking into it. We are interested in bringing a 3rd quarterback in. Today, Dan Campbell at his Monday press conference elaborated a little bit more about it and said they're being very, very picky and very, very concise and precise about who they want to bring in, because the person that they want to bring in, they want to be able to pick up the offense quickly and run the offense and do it consistently. Now, right now, Jared Goff is your starter, Pro Bowler, MVP candidate a year ago. The backup is Kyle Allen, had a very good camp, had a very good preseason. He's a veteran. He's been around. He's played. He has won the backup spot. But what if one of the quarterbacks goes down? What about having a 3rd guy as an insurance policy? And as we know, the Lions pushed for that rule years ago that if you got a 3rd quarterback on the roster and they're inactive, they can still dress. And even though they're inactive, be an extra player so that Sione Vaki isn't taking snaps at quarterback or Amon-Ra St. Brown is having to play quarterback if you're to lose 2 in a game. With that being said, there are 2 names that I've seen that I think fit the Lions as guys that they might be able to sign. And again, it could be practice squad at first or to the active roster. No, I'm not bringing Tim Boyle back. He's available. No, I'm not bringing Nate Sudfeld back. thumbs down. The two guys I see that are out there that can run the offense are Taylor Heineke, who, of course, was a starter with Washington, lost the backup job to the Chargers' Trey Lance this year, and is still a free agent. And Kyle Trask, to me, from Tampa, is not good. But for number 3, I think he could come in and run the offense and be suitable as a third quarterback. You're going to see the list of other guys. There's other players out there. Trask and Heineke, to me, are the two names I would be intrigued by. So we'll see what Brad Holmes and the team does this week. All right. Jameson Williams is growing up. And if you watch the interview that he did with Brad Galley from Channel 7, you'll agree with me. I want to dive more into that coming up next. Locked On Lions today brought to you by our friends at Yahoo Fantasy. I got my draft tonight on Yahoo Fantasy. NFL season is right around the corner. You can feel the buzz. Fantasy football season is here. Everybody's researching, drafting, building their championship squads. And if you haven't joined a league yet, now is the time. But it's all happening on Yahoo Fantasy. All right. I'm playing Yahoo Fantasy football on Yahoo Fantasy this year. We got our draft tonight, my family draft. You should too, whether you're a first timer or a veteran creating your millionth league. Yahoo Fantasy is loaded with fun ways to compete and brand new features that make the game even better. All right. Season kicks off Thursday night, folks, with the Eagles and the Cowboys. Now is the time to start playing Yahoo Fantasy Football, which offers so many fun ways to compete. Do you prefer the classics? Get your crew together and go head-to-head in a private league. It's all there for you on Yahoo Fantasy. NFL season kicks off Thursday, so don't wait. Start your league now. Draft now at yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. That's yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. And we are brought to you today by our friends at Monarch Money. Most people cannot name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's your 401k, properties, or investments. When you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That is where Monarch Money comes in. It's an all-in one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or even on your phone. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally, feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. All right. What about budgeting for a couple? Your husband, your wife, your spouse, whatever. Monarch makes it simple to review your finances with your partner so you can both see budgets, goals, and spending activity all in one place. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONNFL at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with the code LOCKEDONNFL. All right, so if you've watched or listened to this podcast over the last couple of years, you know that I call it like I see it, all right? If players play well, if players are doing the job, I'm commending guys. If the Lions struggle, a coach makes a snag or snafu, whatever it is, I'm calling it out, all right? I want the Lions to do well. I'm rooting for them. I'm a fan, just like you guys are. But I got to be objective. I got to be entertaining and do my job for you here on the show. And I've done the show now for 10 years. I like the Lions brass. We have a lot of good synergy and everything else. And so I feel like I can speak my mind on this show. I have been critical of Jameson Williams. And the reason I'm critical of him is because I love when they drafted him. I love when they were aggressive and went up and got him. And I think this is a guy that has an immense amount of talent. But when a player screws up and when a player hurts the team with stupidity and gambling suspensions and everything else that has gone on with Jamo, I don't like it. All right. But I got to tell you something. I watched him get interviewed the other day by Brad Galley at Channel 7. And Brad did a great interview with Dan Campbell. And from what I was told from a source inside the Lions really were like, hey, we got to put Jameson Williams out there with Brad too, because Brad does a great job in doing these one-on-one interviews. And Brad hustles. He does well with it. And so they put Jamo on with Brad, and I watched it twice. And this is a kid that I think a light's going on in his head. I think he realizes I'm growing up. I'm becoming an adult. And look, we've all made mistakes. I made so many mistakes as a young man and did a lot of stupid stuff myself. All right. And what do they say? Your brain isn't fully formed until you're 26, right? Jameson Williams, if you watch this interview with Brad Galley, some of the things he had to say and some of the love that he gave for his head coach and talk about how much he trusts Dan and how much Dan has helped him and how much a guy like Teddy Bridgewater mentored him and helped him grow up. This is a kid that I believe is ready to break out this year and have an even better year than he had last year. And somebody that knows that he wants to win and he knows when not to screw around, when to be serious. And it seemed like in watching him, he realized he knows he made some mistakes in the past, but he's ready now to grow up and do better and has worked extremely hard. And his route running has been great. And he's excited to partner with John Morton, the new offensive coordinator, in developing his game. And so I just thought it was an awesome interview, and I'm rooting for this kid. And I think he's going to have a great year. And I don't know what the future holds for him and how difficult it would be for the Lions to have two $30 million receivers. We've talked about the salary cap, and we talked about how, you can't give Micah Parsons 47 million and then give Hutch 50. You can't have two players in the same position making 97 million. Plus you've got young players on rookie contracts now that you've got to keep. You can't keep everybody. And maybe Jamo does end up having to leave just because he's too expensive and too good. But maybe just watch the interview if you haven't seen it. It's really good. You're rooting for him, watching him talk and how much fun he's having as a Lion. And I think he's destined to have a really big year. So I'm excited about it. All right. Trey Wingo will join us tomorrow on a Tuesday edition of Locked On Lions. Wednesday, we'll have the first injury report. We'll get you ready for the Packers. All of that right here on Locked On Lions. Hope everybody has a great rest of your Labor Day Monday.